Hey everybody. Oh, as soon as that happens, the old doggy wants to take a little pee-ski. So, I have been watching a lot of these, come on, stop. A lot of these videos regarding Wuhan City. So what is the most alarming thing right now? It's probably the quarantines, man. You know, I realize that the infections and the death rates are really being talked about and almost hyped up at this point. I've seen a lot of the videos now of not only people on the street, but supposedly just dead bodies lined up. And I watched one video, it had about 600,000 hits this morning, where somebody was explaining how broken the medical system was and how everybody in Wuhan had been cut off. It's a huge amount of people. It's a huge amount of people. And he said that one of the things they did was they cut off the gasoline. So you couldn't travel. Basically, even if you found a way out using your automobile, it would be limited because you couldn't get gas. Now, I'm not as concerned with the virus at this point as I am with the amount of people that have no movement. And I know many of you might think that that's a good thing for this not to spread, but again, that could be the ultimate beta test here, right? How many people can we control? When you look at China's population of 1.1 billion, and it's probably more than that by now, and our estimates of between 300 and 400 billion, you're talking about a country that is literally 4 times the size of ours. 4 times the size of ours. And no matter, what you think of that regime, if it can successfully control that large a populace, well, that's more than troublesome in my opinion. I mean, a lot more than troublesome. The virus itself. So let's talk about everything that's out there. People are saying it's patented. From what I've seen on the patents, and by the way, thumbs this video up, guys. Sub and share if you're new. Me and Karma were on the walk and talk. Boy, she was howling at me. The patent had a lot of different types of this virus, including canine coronavirus was on there. Now, whether or not this is a vaccine ruse, I don't see that as a possibility. I mean, how many people are really, at the end of the day, especially in Western culture, where we would pay top dollar, gonna run out and get this vaccine unless mass casualties, not only happen, but get reported, And with the way that China's internet is set up, to get out of the internet, you have to usually have a VPN. On top of having a VPN, the latency is huge. Sometimes that doesn't even work. So, this is a display of how well they're controlling information. 2 very scary aspects, the quarantining and the control of the flow of information digitally. So the vaccine thing is kind of out. Now, then we have Event 21, right? And apparently this was like a drill type of scenario, a think tank getting together, talking about how a large-scale pandemic like this could be as hurtful to national security as a terrorist attack or something of that nature. So a lot of people are pointing to that as well as preparation. I don't know. It does seem like quite the coincidence, but I have to see some more comprehensive stuff. I know Zero Hedge is also reporting that there's a possibility that and I'm not even sure what Zero Hedge is sourcing, but that this virus was then weaponized in a Canadian lab. Has anybody seen that? So that's out there. Again, out of everything, it's the control of a large populace. 999. What rights do we give up if a national emergency is declared? It's a great question. My question is not only what rights do we give up, but how far will our military take it against their own people? Obviously, you have a different culture in China, but as of now, at least publicly, you're not seeing riots. You're not seeing that stuff uploaded onto the internet. So, their police force is doing, in my opinion, and military is doing a rather scary job at being able to hide this stuff. So I think that is a really important aspect of this as well, that most people are not going to pay attention to. And that's more than unfortunate, because it's one of those things that we should be paying attention to, we should be talking about, especially with the flow of the information, especially with a docile populace. I mean, they're talking about 40 million plus being quarantined, right? Right, Carm? No, get away from that snow. That's a lot of people. If we were to quarantine 40 million people in this country, that would be, like more than, what was it, about an eighth of the populace, right? Something in that range, about an eighth of the populace. 1 in 8 people here. That's scary. And how many people would have to be infected in the United States and then die for a lot of people just to say, give up your rights? And what would our society look like if travel was restricted and gas stations were shut down? I mean, that's some freaky stuff. Now, another thing to note is, while this guy was talking, and you can look it up, I mean, it's out there, people are tweeting about it, they're posting on Facebook. He said, if you're strong enough, you might live through it, because he feels like a lot of these people are just undiagnosed because they're not getting there in time. And to me, that sounds like, a decent amount of people are making it through this whole thing. The other thing is, he also discusses SARS in 2003. I remember the SARS thing. In fact, I've been pointing to that South Park where, it was basically the flu, and most people got through it, and it ended up being a lot of hype. I tend to think that's what's going to go down here, but at the same time, I do think that they're going to underreport the amount of casualties. I think it's almost disastrous for them to limit travel. And I know, we got to stop the spread. I don't know that that's really going to stop the spread of something that's airborne. If it's airborne and it can infect you through the eyes, et cetera, I really just feel like it's a moot point. And instead, it's more along the lines of a drill to see how far, they can take this type of population literal control of quarantining, of restricting travel, of creating an outward authoritarian police state. Okay? Oh, there she is. Thumbs it up. So, Karma's limping a little bit. It's been tough this winter, I'm not going to lie, especially the last couple weeks. Sometimes she gets in, sometimes she gets out. If you guys don't know, my dog was diagnosed with osteosarcoma and given 2 to 8 weeks to live back in August 15th. And right now, I've had her on the Joe Tippins treatment, mycancerstory.rocks, where she is on daily fenbenzidol, vitamin A, turmeric curcumin, and CBD oil. And so far, she's outlived the doctor's best predictions by 3 times, I think. 3 times what we were given. And obviously every day is a gift, but I'd love her to get to March and her 13th birthday. That'd be pretty cool. I would dig it. Wouldn't you, Karma? You want to dig it, don't you, baby? Don't you? She's got a lot of life in her. Believe me, she was howling at me to come out. Let's see, you went on TMZ, nothing. What is going on in my chat room? God, the chat is so toxic sometimes, guys. Thumbs this video up, by the way. Sub and share if you're new. So, I think that's about it that we have for the information on this thing. We know about the patent. We now have the reports that possibly the virus may have been weaponized in a Canadian lab. We know that they are quarantining people on a mass level. We know that the government is outwardly taking, quote unquote, fake videos down of people who are supposedly infected. So, I don't know what else there is to know about this, other than the fact I think we need to keep a level head, and we have to watch where it goes from here. If you disagree with me, let me know why in the comments section. Thumbs the video up, sub and share. Remember, I've got a Rockfin, rockfin.com. I'm doing 5 exclusive videos a week there. You'll get an exclusive video there today. That's a promise. On top of that, I got a GoFundMe. That's how I support myself. I absolutely love you guys. So does karma. And we'll see you on the flip side.